Rising. Grand Rising kings, queens, goddesses, everybody in between.
You got Chuck.
What's good, y'all? We back for another episode of the Green
I'm not
Room.
going with y'all.
Listen, man, I just tried to get the Grand Rising off. We was just talking about it. Because I've definitely told people, like, get that out of here. Don't say Grand Rising to me. I don't like that. We back for another episode. I am Marc G. I got LeRon with me, Nancy NiChole with me. We took a week off, and we're getting ready to tell you why. But we back. We got some stuff to get to. Whew, that versus. That versus. Salute, Jadakiss.
Go ahead,
Salute.
No, I want you to do it for me.
Oh, yeah. That's terrible. That is a terrible Jadakiss.
You thought about me the whole versus.
That is so
I think about
terrible.
you all the time.
You're so crazy.
All right, y'all. So look, so I want to, since we took a week off, we need to let the people know what's been going on with us. Obviously, Nancy, you know, can I say that you relocated, or what I mean? I don't want to tell your business like that. Okay, but no. So Nancy was in the middle of a move, had a lot of stuff going on. Moving is by far the worst thing.
Yes, it is.
I don't even like to help people. I don't like to help people. Nigga want to offer you a sandwich or something for the help. Like, nah, man. Hire some movers. But you've been in the middle of a move.
Mm-hmm.
And then last Sunday, we were supposed to record. And according to LeRon, I damn near killed him.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
So
It really had people.
You
really had people thinking that I tried to kill you.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was last weekend, I decided to take my son out to the arcade, right? So I took him to Scene 75 in Dublin. So I take him to Scene 75. We have a good old time. We in there for a couple hours. When I'm ready to leave, I cannot find my car keys.
This was Saturday night.
This was Saturday night. I cannot find my car keys. I'm looking all through there. I cannot find them. I was in there for hours. I'm talking about hours. Couldn't find them. Long story short, I ended up having to get a new key made for my car.
Oh, wow.
New key
One of
fob.
that's
yeah,
expensive.
you already know. Know. It cracked my head.
Yes, it would.
But because of that, I hit Graham like, yo, I don't think we're going to make it today because I'm still trying to get my car together, whatever.
And I had my issues.
And you had your stuff going on. So then LeRon like, all right, fuck it. You know, we ain't recording. He going to do something different. So me losing my key led to us not recording, which led to...
So Sunday, I was on my way to lunch with some friends from high school and my old basketball coach from high school. And on my way there, it had started pouring down, raining. Like, I'm talking about like cloudy vision. We couldn't see nothing. So I'm on 270 North on my way to Easton.
Yeah.
And on my way to Easton, I'm in the express lane, and as I'm just driving. Actually, I'm going my normal speed in the express lane, and as I'm driving straight, this lady to the right of me, she just got over into my lane, but she was a little bit ahead of me. But when she got over, the back of her car clipped the front end of my car. Then my car hydroplaned into the divide and went through the divide, and then my car flipped about 10 to 15 times, something like it was a crazy number of times because it flipped about 50 yards. And I ended up on 270 South. So when my car was flipping, I wasn't like, in the moment when the car was flipping, I wasn't scared or anything. But I literally told myself, and I remember the moment where I'm just like, I'm about to die. I'm not about to survive this. Like,
That's got to be a wild feeling.
It was a little bit, but I was oddly at peace. But then I talked to like you yesterday, and I talked to my best friend Bink yesterday, and Binky told me that maybe the peace that you were feeling was because of your year that you've been having. You buying a house, the separation, like all this stuff that you got going on in your life. Maybe that moment was just like your peace, like you're getting away from all of the stuff that stresses you out. And I was like, damn, I didn't even think about it like that. But anyway, so. When my car stopped flipping, I sat there and I actually hurried and I turned around because I had literally just dropped my kids off.
Thank you, Lord.
I just dropped them off to my mom, but when the car stopped, I looked back in my back seat, panicking. I'm talking about crying, like yelling, like where are my kids?
Oh,
like I thought they were back there, but my body and my mind went into shock.
Yeah.
Until I had to calm myself down, and when I calmed myself down, I was like, nah, bro, you just literally. Drop them off to your mom so they're safe, they're not with you. So as I calm down, so this is when I don't want to say start playing, but I don't take a lot of shit serious. at all, really.
Right.
And these white people, it was a pilgrim that
It
was a pilgrim that took me out. It was definitely
a pilgrim took you out.
It was a hit and run. She hit and ran, so she never stopped. She booked.
That's nuts.
It was definitely a pilgrim. But then a bunch of other pilgrims came. A bunch of other ones. But I can't really call them pilgs because they was like... They helped. But I thought they was coming to finish me. So in my mind, I'm like, play dead. You know, like on All About the Benjamins when they in the bed talking and then the door and they go just like that. That's exactly how I was in the car. I kind of like just dropped my head. But then I looked around and I'm like, nigga, you ain't got no blood or nothing on you. Get up. They gonna know you alive.
Right.
So I get out. They're kind of like pulling on the actual door to help get me out of it.
Yeah.
So when they got the door open and I got out, I didn't have bruises. I didn't have a scratch on me. No blood. No busting. Nothing.
How crazy is that? No scratches.
No scratches.
And we saw the car, like, and we'll maybe put some.
You can put it in.
We'll put some pics up.
But I literally I had no injuries, and then but when the paramedics pulled up, I kind of seen them run to the car. When they ran to the car, they was like they wasn't expecting to have to bring somebody back to life. They wasn't expecting to have to help nobody in the car. But when they got there and see I wasn't in there, they was looking for who was hurt. And I heard the pilgrims tell him like he was standing right there. They was like, "You were
in that car?
You were in that car?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Are you all right?" I said, "I don't know right now. Like my adrenaline is moving too high. Everything is. Everything is too revved up right now." So
you know what's crazy?
And everything. That was it.
So when he finally called and told me, so that was Sunday afternoon. So he calls me and we talking and he was like, I just got into an accident a little while ago. And I'm like, he said, I got into an accident, a bad accident. I'm thinking he talking about, it's LeRon. So I'm thinking I'm like, nigga, what kind of accident? And he was like, nigga, a car accident. And I was like, oh, like you serious? And he was like, yeah, my shit flipped over and all. And I'm like, I was driving when he told me, and it's just kind of like, I kind of snapped back for a second, like, damn. So now I'm like in are you okay mode, like, nigga, you good? And he was like, yeah, I walked away, whatever. So I'm the one that said to him, I was like, damn, if I didn't lose my key last night, we would be recording. You wouldn't have went to wherever you was about to go. So then,
you felt guilty.
But then this nigga decides to go on social media, post the accident, and say, "High key, it's my fault."
Right, and that's where I come in.
And everybody like,
yeah, I got calls. People was asking like, "Your calls trying to kill you?" I'm like, "Yeah, man."
He said, "Yeah, man."
But then after a while, I was starting to get too many of them. And I was like, "Okay, everybody know I play it too much." So I went and deleted Mark's name. I actually tagged him and everything.
Yeah, that's the one.
So then I took him out. I took him out the tag, and I had to actually make a post after. It was like, "Hey, y'all, look, y'all know I play a lot." Like, he didn't really, he had nothing to do with it.
I'm like, I wasn't even there.
He had nothing to do with the accident. So then, I think you did call me. Because after I got off the phone with you, you called me. And then you talked and you were just telling me to go back to, not go back, but go to the hospital.
Go to the hospital.
So during that, I'm talking, this was like 1 o'clock. Or no, 1:45 is when the accident happened. So from like 2 to about 8, my adrenaline was still high. I didn't feel anything. Like, I didn't feel like anything until 8:30. When my adrenaline started coming down, the back of my neck started getting tight. My shoulders started getting tight, and I started to get a crazy headache. So I went to the hospital, and they did a CAT scan. So I didn't have. They said everything was clean. There ain't had no blood or nothing on my brain, but I definitely have a concussion. So I was actually cool most of the week until maybe Tuesday. Tuesday maybe is when I started to sit in. I started, like, when my kids leave, I'm by myself. So when I'm by myself, I'm at the crib literally. I was telling Mark yesterday, I was sitting down and all of these things just started to hit me. It started to really hit me like, bro, you really was about to die.
Could have been it.
And as I'm sitting there thinking about it, and I'm also, my doctors told me, no drinking and shit. And I'm not suicidal. Not at all. I just want to be honest and true and real. So when I'm sitting at the crib, my idea that I was at peace with dying, it bothered me because I ain't accomplished shit yet. So it's like that kind of bothered me. I got young kids. I got you, and so
you got me. Since when?
So what happened? So back to the story. Okay, I lost track. Okay, so my idea of peace had drastically it started to affect me.
Yeah.
And then I started to think like, while I got this concussion, I'm not supposed to be drinking. I'm not supposed to be doing anything, no substances at all while I'm concussed. But I literally started thinking like, shit, if I was at peace in that car, shit, then I can take a drink and be fine. I was literally at peace with almost not dying. I wasn't trying to kill myself, but I was at peace with whatever came from me drinking when I wasn't supposed to be.
And see, this is why, like, you know, you always hear people say, like, make sure you check on your people, check in with your people and all of that. And this week, I'm talking about across the board, from his accident to I had a homie going through something. I was dealing with some shit with my family, and I was just like, we have to make time to check in on each other because, like he said, he was like, yo, I clown so much that people didn't even think I got into an accident for real because that's just my demeanor. And I was telling him, I'm like, I ended up having to leave Columbus Thursday, and I had to go to Cleveland. I went home to Youngstown, and I can't get into like details, but I had a family member in some trouble, in some danger that I had to go and check on. And I hadn't seen this is my little cousin, and I hadn't seen him for years. I hadn't seen him for years. And the combination of his accident and this going on, I was just like, we got to do a better job at making sure. Because when you get grown, the excuse becomes, you grown. It's life. I'm busy. It's this. It's that. Because having that conversation with him saying like, yo, as the car's flipping over, I'm in peace. I'm at peace if I die. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a therapist or a doctor or any of that, but there's something in there that needs to be unpacked. Because I was trying to tell him, I don't think it's like, oh, well, I'm cool with dying. I don't think that's what it was. For me, I think when you just don't have any control, like if you powerless, it's hard sometimes. Like if he would have screamed, if he would have cried, if he would have, whatever he would have done, it wasn't going to change the trajectory of that car flipping over.
Exactly.
But I say all of that to say that, first off, I'm happy you here. Blessed to be here.
Yes, Jesus.
A second lease on life. You know what I mean? And you just, you know, it's going to take time, but you make the best of it. And when you, like you said, I'm at the crib and I'm solo and I'm dolo, like that's when you hit niggas up. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I was doing that all like pretty much for people. When I was talking to Bink yesterday, and it was really it started to get to a point where I didn't want to like burden people, but then I started to think also as well, like if something would have happened to me at home because of something I had control over, like I'm not supposed to be drinking, but I'm drinking in this concussion, and I could have not woke up from my sleep or whatever, that would have been some selfish shit to leave y'all with. Like if I got people that I know that I can call and talk to, then I need to do that, because if I would have just did something harmful to myself, not intentionally, but just,
either way,
if something would have happened, then that would have been selfish on my behalf as far as leaving people with, because Bink had, I think one of Bink's closest friends, or a friend of hers, passed because I don't know. I don't want to say she killed herself. I don't know. I can't even think about it right now. Which is another side effect I've been having, is my memory.
Losing train of thought and all of that.
Yeah, my memory loss has been fucking terrible.
So I would say, like I said, because to me, we all go through shit, things happen, but the moral of this particular story is that no matter how old you are, how old we get, how much time passed, you got to make an active effort. Because sometimes, remember we had that conversation a couple of shows ago about help. And how do you ask somebody for help, right? And you was like, yo, I'm not asking nobody for nothing. And most of us, that's how we all live. It's like, I'm not about to burden you with my shit. But after dealing with what I dealt with this week with my family and with my cousin, I'm like, you have to, at the very least, make sure, you know what I mean? Because they may not tell you. And sometimes you got to force the issue.
Yes.
You got to press a little bit. Like, okay, I hear you saying you okay, but are you really okay? So that's the message that we want to get out to y'all is just that check on your people and be proactive about it. Don't wait until something happens and then respond. You know what I mean? Like, make sure that you're proactively checking in on people and, you know.
And we're going to be able to talk about that this week on the Green Gems because we're going to have Dr. Maria Houston. She's a psychologist or therapist. And she's not about to be on there diagnosing people or having personal, like... Yeah. She's just coming on there to explain the importance of removing that stigma in our community about mental health. Like, it's okay to go see therapists. It's okay to have these conversations with people around you. Like, she's just coming to debunk.
And I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it for sure because we canceled we didn't record and then we didn't do the gyms because I wasn't going to be back in the city in time. But going back to the last episode of Green Gems that we did do on Instagram Live, we had a couple topics and we talked about getting involved in your family's relationship or your friend's relationship. You know, if they going through some shit, do you get involved? I gave the scenario of if you out and about and you see your homegirl or your homeboy significant other with another man or another woman. Mm-hmm. Do you pull up on them and say, hey, how you doing? I want you to see my face. Mm-hmm. Do you take pictures or video on the low and send it to your people? Mm-hmm. Or do you ignore it altogether and mind your business? So that was like
that was a
hot button thing. People had different, opinions on that. But the conversation started to morph into like, what's your worth? Who has the advantage between the man and the woman? Mm-hmm. And y'all, let me tell y'all, Nancy NiChole was over this live. When I say she was over it, like I would look down in the box, bro, and I'd be like, oh, she's out. She's ready. She's done. She's just over it. So we got to talk about it for a second.
Oh, my God.
We got to talk about it for a second because you left early. We still went for a little while.
I did.
And you was like, nigga, I'm done. Good night.
I was.
Okay.
Exactly.
So break it down for us. What was it about that live? We bring people in.
It wasn't a live per se, but it was the gentleman, the guy.
The guy, okay.
Whoever the guy was.
Okay.
And first I was cool, and then to me it just got to a little bit of arrogance and ignorance. You know what I'm saying? About his whole demeanor. Everybody, first of all, I want to say, everybody, you are entitled to your opinion, the way you feel. And it's not like everybody's not going to agree with how you feel. But to me, he was just like a little bit too cocky and arrogant and ignorant with it. And I'm just like, seriously?
Was it when he was like, the man is the prize?
And that's where I was going to say, that's where it stemmed. Because the other young lady was like, women are the prize.
Right.
And he was like, the man is the prize. And just his reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
He got so cocky and arrogant about it. I just like blocked it. I got to the point where I don't even know what this dude talking about. I'm like, I'm done. Like,
I hit LeRon like, yo, she is fed up and she is out of here. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of the feedback that I got from the men who was like in there watching and stuff, they was like, damn, it seemed like the women can say whatever they want to say and get their opinion off. But as soon as a man say something and y'all don't like it, y'all shut down and y'all don't want to hear it.
And they're fine for them to say that.
Right.
But just like I'm saying, like I said a few seconds ago, all you gentlemen, all you men, all you guys, dudes, whatever you want to call yourselves, you are entitled to say what you want to say. Just be respectful about it. Just be like, have a demeanor of some type of like politeness or some type of.
So his delivery was
all wrong. Like you can feel you the prize. It's fine. I'm cool with you. It was just how he was like women ain't. Y'all ain't the prize. Y'all ain't shit. Like, who? And I'm like.
And I ain't gonna lie, I was
like perturbed.
I was fanning the flames a smidge.
You were.
I was. Mm-hmm. But I was doing it not to be like, Evan, what up to? That, by the way, we keep saying he.
Pushing the conversation.
But I'm just trying to push the conversation just so we can. Because at the end, my wife is upstairs while I'm recording downstairs, and she come downstairs, and she come past, and like roll her eyes and go that way, right? So then I'm like, then she come back this way and she was like, it's over. The show's over. Like she's mouthing that to me. It's over. I don't know what y'all talking about anymore. It's over. Like the show's over. I was like, show's over. So then I'm on live. I'm like, all right, y'all, we out, man. I was like, I guess I gotta go deal with this. Oh, she ain't like that. She ain't like that at all. When we got done, she was like, So you got to go deal with what now? What do you? So I'm talking to her about it, but she kind of felt the same way along the lines of just dude was just kind of like
He was just
a little
doing
extra.
too much.
But if that's how that man felt though, we gotta respect that opinion.
And you're right. And you're right. And when I got up, I was like, they're gonna misinterpret it wrong, and it's exactly what the guys did. But I just don't have time for. Everybody is allowed. Like if he was sitting here,
right.
I would still conduct myself like, okay, yes. But when you start getting ignorant and like just saying things, I'll sit here like I'll get quiet.
Oh, yo, look, she was in that box like I was like, oh, she's done. Like she don't even want to talk no more.
At that point, I didn't even know who he was. Until I seen his face, I was like, "Oh, I know him."
yeah.
I seen him. I seen him in the chat in the comments, but I didn't know that's who he was until he actually came on the live. When he came on the live, I was like, "Oh, I see where this is about to go." Because I know who he is from his social media, from Twitter, and then even from Facebook, some Facebook stuff.
And he got his own podcast too.
He's like that's. I knew when I seen him where the conversation was going.
Hey, look.
But this is through his comments. And that's why I was already like, when I was reading his comments through the stuff, I was like, he's one of these sarcastic type. So, and I was just like, I was just frustrated.
No, but he wasn't being sarcastic either. He was like dead ass serious.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's his personality.
And that's I'm like, is he really like being sarcastic or is he serious? And I'm like,
you couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell.
He's been this consistent for the past 7 years. I follow him on social media.
Now look, real quick, we're gonna go to the next thing, but I gotta stop the show real quick. I just got a text message. My brother, Juan, congratulations to you and Jessica, baby boy. I just got the text. Got the text.
Congrats, bro.
Congrats, my brother.
Welcome to fatherhood. Welcome to fatherhood.
This has been one of my friends since we was kids, and this is their first child. I talked to him the other night, and he was just like, "Yo, it's happening Sunday." We had that conversation. So, welcome to the Fathers Club. You already know I got you. The rest of the fathers got you, and we gonna have the young boy right. So, congratulations, Juan and Jessica. All right, so. Green Gems this week, mental health. Yeah. We definitely gonna have a professional on there so everybody can come through. We have a good conversation and open up the dialogue. Now, let's get to the shits real quick. This versus. I don't think y'all understand how hype and I guess I'm just an old nigga and that's fine and I embrace it and I accept it because my wife was like, "You watching it again?" I said yes.
You was really.
Yeah, I watched it again.
But I don't blame you though.
I watched it again because the energy was just.
I couldn't watch it more than once.
Bro, the energy was just so much of what I know.
Yeah, but it was so one-sided to the point. That's why I can't watch it more than once.
It was an ass whooping. It was Dipset. Y'all got your ass whooped. Now, in the group text, Nancy went in there and was like, "I told y'all niggas." She said that she's pretty sure you took Dipset. And you're saying no.
I would never took Dipset over Jadakiss. Anytime Jadakiss is on the table.
I feel like,
except for Jay.
I feel like at first he took Dipset.
I didn't. That's why I said.
So this is the timeline.
This is why I said what I said.
When it was first announced.
Okay.
I was like, oh, Dipset about to clean them up.
Right.
And then this was on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then after me and you was talking, I was like, oh, wait. Let me walk that back. And I actually had to sit and think about, they were back in 9-6.
Right.
In that area. Their music is still good from then. So then I had to walk it back. So I know at least a week before the verses even came out, I already knew who I was going with.
So if y'all didn't watch it, Dipset, LOX, Madison Square Garden, this past Tuesday, they did their verses. And it, LeRon just said, it was lopsided. I mean, when I say lopsided, Dipset, the tone started with a DJ. The DJ was trash. I don't know what he was doing. They sound was bad. And then they started rapping over their vocals. And they was dealing with some for real, legit vet MCs. And the reason why I'm talking about this, because I've had a million, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, I had so many things I was gonna post, and I didn't want to post it, and I was like, I'm gonna just write it down, and I'm gonna wait until we get here, because I literally was sitting at the crib, this is the difference, you know how you get a certain age, and you old now, you don't understand the new shit, and I respect that to a certain extent, but hip-hop is hip-hop.
Yeah.
Hip-hop will always be hip-hop, and there is a measuring bar for what's good and what's not. We got to this point now where it's like, it's just subjective, right? And you're a fan of who you love, and that's fine. But, no, hip-hop is hip-hop. Can you rhyme? Can you rhyme live? Do you have breath control? Do you have the crowd? Like, the LOX put on a clinic. A clinic. Like,
I mean, I keep the boosters boosting and computers puting. That rhyme.
Hey, but it's so
crazy.
But it's real though. Like everything they said, when you think about that era, it's like, man, Dipset, it's a movement. Then when they dropped them bars the other night, you was like, man, get this.
That did not. It didn't age well.
Get this shit out of here.
You go from Jadakiss's. I think that was from The Professional too. The Clue tape. Hit that freestyle over the Who Shot You beat.
Oh my god.
You go from that.
Oh my goodness.
And then you hear, I keep the boosters boosting, the computers puting. It's like, oh man,
it's
like.
over. So what was that? So Nancy, because you text us, I was surprised you hit us first in the group, like yo, y'all watching this? Like,
like, is it me?
So how was that? Like watching it, what was your thoughts? Like, what did you feel when you was watching?
My thoughts is exactly what I said the day when y'all asked me, who are you going for? My thoughts was like, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. We're talking about Jadakiss here. We talking about
like
the
lyrics.
Girl,
you look more like a Dipset girl.
That's what a lot of people would assume. A lot of people always assume opposite of what I am. Yeah. Always. But the thing is this. I had to hit y'all up. Because y'all had to be seeing and feeling what I was feeling.
Yeah, the energy.
Because Jadakiss, the LOX, to me, I feel like it was just, I was shamed. I was. And I almost couldn't watch it no more.
It got bad. It got
embarrassing. But there was moments when Dipset kind of picked it up a little bit.
They tried.
But they, out of the maybe 20 songs, they played definitely more than 20 songs, number one. But out of the standard 20, let's just say 20 songs, Dipset may have got 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe 2.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah. I know when Certified Gangsters went off, though.
So, and that's what I'm saying. They had
moments.
They had songs. I won't take that away from Dipset. They got songs. But when you start talking about the overall scope of what hip-hop means, now they were trendy, right? So they started a movement. They were trendy. And I was telling you in the car, for Columbus people have a certain affection for Dipset because Cam and them had set up. They was down here. Yeah. So you would see them niggas moving around down here, so you felt away. But it's like, that don't...
You can't
use that and say that they gonna win because of how you feel personally.
And I think that's what Dipset depended on in this battle.
It was, that was the first thing you said. You thought they depended on that.
They depended on their movement. Yeah. Their movement that... Now, they honestly had probably the biggest, maybe even best movement in hip-hop history.
Right.
That Dipset...
It was big. Early 2000s, it was nuts.
Crazy. So I think they went into this depending on that in Manhattan, in New York. Yeah. They thought that it was that they had that on their back.
And see, what happened is once they let the LOX control the narrative and the tone, they couldn't get it back. And that's
it started before the first song played.
It started when they came out.
Before the song played.
When they came out to that that 1 2 1 2 like the music, they came out, they was together, they walked out, they announced Dipset, nobody comes out.
Nobody comes out.
But when they did come out, the stadium, the arena went crazy.
But see, there's something to be said about a stage show and presence.
Right.
You gotta be moving as a unit.
But
them niggas came out, right? And then it's like they kind of sauntering onto the stage one by one. Then Cam was like late.
I didn't know where he was.
He was late.
By the time I told him, I said by the time he did come out, he walked up to like Freaky Zeke and them and dapped him up like, I ain't seen you in a minute, my nigga. Like, how you doing? Like, good to see you. You can't do a show with niggas that you don't really fuck with. You know what I mean? Like, the LOX was, I'm saying, it was
everything about it.
It was a moment where Styles was over there fucking with Cam, right? Mm-hmm. Just on some wild shit. And it was his verse.
Mm-hmm.
Jada did
his verse.
They was rapping his verse.
Jada and she did this nigga's whole verse.
Styles ain't have to do shit.
He didn't have to do nothing. He didn't have to do a thing. And that is... you can't underestimate that. So when you hear like groups like Migos and all of that, and they start talking about how they're the best group of all time and this and that, and they're using it off of these inflated streaming and Billboard numbers and all of that, somebody as an elder statesman of the culture got to step up and say, young boys, y'all can get y'all money, but when we start talking about these conversations, when we start talking about these convos, y'all not allowed to be in these convos. You're just not allowed. You're not allowed. And I think we remember when like the mid 2000s, I would say maybe like 04, 05, when you had Soulja Boy and like that shit starting to kick in. And I think Ice-T had came out, and Ice-T was like, the fuck is this shit? Like, get this shit out of here, right? And immediately, he was pegged as a hater. Mm-hmm. He was given the hater tag. Mm-hmm. That set the tone for, now if I don't embrace this new shit, I'm a hater now.
I literally just told Facebook, my social media, literally just said this, that I was late as fuck to this little baby party.
Yeah.
I was not trying to convert to listen to what he had to say. Until recently, I literally been listening to him. I'm like, oh, this nigga,
he talking some shit.
He nice.
But that's the thing, like, when it comes to talent, there's only going to be so many people that are going to be that good. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is just copying and like T-Pain's rant the other week.
The baby
do something else. Right. Do something else. I'm tired of hearing the same shit, and people are like,
we already got
that.
We don't need another.
We already got that. So if you hear 100 niggas with the same sound, go get a different sound. Mm-hmm. And if I say I don't like it, I'm not hating. There is a measuring bar for hip hop, and the LOX showed that. Them niggas was on point from start to finish. You can tell that they got Puff influence. You can tell they got Rough Rider. Like, we have to stop just allowing shit to be cool, because it's really dumbing down. If you love hip hop, it's dumbing it down. Yeah. It's dumbing it down.
The nigga Cameron said, y'all go first. We at home.
Right.
We in Manhattan. He said we in Manhattan. Y'all, we home.
Up the street.
And then this is when the tables completely turned for me. Mm-hmm. Jadakiss' immediate response to him saying that was, Cam, you live in Miami.
Yeah, you
drop that shit. And they drop fuck you. I was like,
it's over.
Yeah, this shit is done.
And I don't think people realize once you got that momentum in that type of situation, you can't get that back.
They never let up.
Because even when Cam was like, oh, they saying we ain't got bars, and he tried to acapella freestyle, they booed that nigga. Mm-hmm. I never in a million years thought Cameron would get booed in fucking New York. Not ever in my life would I have thought that. So I knew at that point it was off the rails. Like, it was done. So anybody that took dip, stop hiding. Because a lot of y'all this week...
No, they're still on there, still talking
What they saying?
There's a few Dipset.
What they say? They can't, bro. They can't
go back and watch it again.
No.
If you watch
they can't be saying that. They can't be saying that.
I'm gonna start reposting them.
Hey, y'all took an L. Y'all gotta accept it. Cause I seen a lot of people where I know they took Dipset, and then all of a sudden they like, give Jadakiss his flowers. It's like, no.
You gotta address your wrongs first.
Yeah, you got to. So yeah, man, that was to me. That was like probably my favorite
versus.
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think back because there's been so many. There have been some other good ones, but if they keep this format where you got to actually perform, because remember when it was pandemic, you just playing songs. But everybody was just playing songs.
Another thing is they had a crowd too. The crowd that it turned into a performance because of the crowd.
And that's another thing I think that the LOX was in tune with, was like, yo, this is New York City. Yeah. I know where we at. And niggas is respecting bars out here.
And Dipset has not performed together in about... They just literally got back together. They literally just broke up. So it was so many elements of why they lost and why they wasn't going to be able to keep up. And that's why, like I was just saying, like, they depended on their movement to get them through. And it just wasn't going for them that way, because you got three niggas that they not even friends. These niggas are brothers. They with each other all the time. They got the same, it's one DJ. They all share.
Yep.
it was just too many components for Dipset.
Now, did you watch it by yourself?
I watched it by myself at home in the bed.
And I was by myself too, and I was like, damn, we should have like had something. Like this was the type, that was the type of energy you needed to be.
I don't know. I don't think
people.
I would have wanted to do that because
Why
sometimes me personally,
you don't see your thug side.
No. Sometimes I want to be able to listen and hear. And when you in a group of it's too much going on and people talking and overdoing this and overdoing that's like a lot of times when I like championships and Super Bowls and stuff like that. If it's a team I'm really into, sometimes I don't want to be all up in that energy. I just need to have me in that television and me and so that's how I felt.
I'll agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Like big games and stuff like that, like out at a sports bar and shit.
You can't hear.
I don't really like that. I'd rather be at the crib.
So I don't think I would have gone to a Dipset and LOX. I was where I wanted to be.
So did you have Tim's on in the living room?
No, I told you I was literally in the bed because it was late. Yeah. It was late. They started late. So and I'm like, I need to go to work, but I stayed up until
every minute of that shit too.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I don't know what the next one's gonna be, but they need to keep that same type of energy.
It gotta be.
I mean, the ass whooping was the ass whooping, but the energy was on point. Right. So we'll see what the next one's gonna be.
Kim and Foxy with that.
Would they ever do it though? I don't think
they have 20 songs
though. Kim said she would do one with Nicki.
So Kim won. She wants to smoke with Nicki.
Yeah, so I think Kim could get on stage with. Well, I don't know,
Kim could get on stage with Nicki.
I'm talking about Fox.
Oh, with Fox.
Because they had like that was like got into some real like gun violence. And
shit. Shit got real. No, shit got real. Shit got real with them. All right, so I had put something in the, we put into the chat shit that we want to talk about. And I had put something in there I didn't really explain to y'all what it meant. But I put proactive versus reactive. And that's all I put, but I didn't really give an explanation on it. So real quick, I want to give y'all an explanation on what I meant, and then I want to get y'all take on it. So lately, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, just as far as like the violence and the gun violence. Columbus, like I said, my hometown, Youngstown, and just in general, like shit's crazy everywhere. And it's like every time you look on the news, somebody getting shot, somebody, and do y'all think that people, to a certain extent, kind of feed into the idea of like once somebody dies, like the hoopla that comes with when somebody passed away, the whole I knew him, I knew her, posting the text messages, posting this and posting this online. It's like they wait for people to die and then they say, well, why is it like this? We got to do better. Mm-hmm. Why can't we, whatever the case may be. We're reactive. Mm-hmm. Proactive is saying, why is this happening? How do you fix it? Mm-hmm. How do you stop it? And as one person, as an individual, you don't have all the answers, and it's not anything that you can do on your own. But I would much rather see people say, what can we do to affect change so this don't happen, as opposed to every time it happens, now we got to do better. That's what I always say. We got to do better. We got to do this. We got to do that. And it's just a little annoying because I feel like it's not genuine. Mm-hmm. It's just a way for you to stand on your soapbox and say, oh, well, I'm so sick of the violence. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of that. But I know for sure, for a fact, I got family. I come from where I come from. I know you'll allow your peoples to live how they live until something happens. Mm-hmm. You won't stop them from doing whatever it is that they're doing, or you won't have a say in it, or you won't have an opinion on it. You'll let them rock how they rock. Mm-hmm. Then when they die or something happens, then you like...
Yeah, but I don't even know why I just had this thought, but you ever wanted...
You about to say something crazy.
You ever wanted to tell somebody who grieving, like their cousin who just died in a shootout or whatever, like he's not in heaven. Like we know, like everybody didn't go to heaven, man. Like everybody that died, like hell must be empty as hell.
So look, listen. He is 1,000% correct. If you believe in heaven and hell, how can you possibly believe that everybody goes to heaven? Yeah, somebody gotta go to hell, bro.
Skillet ain't in heaven.
Somebody gotta go to hell.
Ray, Skillet,
somebody gotta go to hell.
I don't give a damn how hard you praying and crying for him.
And it's the same thing as free my nigga.
Yeah, like
he
some people
probably shouldn't be free.
Yeah, he probably need to be in
but he need to be there.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to rehabilitate him, right. But I don't want him here. I don't want him out here. I don't want him with me.
I don't be understanding those conversations. Like, it be certain people that I get it where I be like, free somebody if I know it.
Right.
You in jail for weed.
Right, if you in there for drugs and shit, yeah.
Like, let this nigga out. He's stimulating the economy. But if your cousin and killed 3 or 4 5 motherfuckers, he might need to sit his ass down in prison.
If they call that nigga 187 Cardell,
he might need to stay.
187 probably need to be in the system.
He has become karma, which I don't believe in, but some people do. If you believe in karma and you killing motherfuckers and a nigga come and get you, hey man, ain't no rest in peace.
Like, but have y'all ever though, like me myself, I know it on both ends. I've seen the victim side, and I know perpetrators as well. And we
perps,
yeah, they the perps. Like Ice-T would say, they the perps.
The perps.
They perp. I saw you getting your rocks off. He's a perp. I seen it. That's my Ice-T SVU. But yeah, it's like
hey, he got the best. He has the best one-liners in cinematic history on SCVU. Like the way he pull up and be violating people with his verbal, his lines, he be violating them.
I see that.
Yeah, it's like when he say something like, when he catch like a rapist, and be like, he'll say something to him like, what's something he'll say like, you don't need, where you going?
Oh yeah.
Where you going, there's going to be a lot of,
he'll say some shit, I seen the perp over there use the broom. It's gonna be a lot more brooms. It's gonna be a lot where you're finna to go. There's gonna be a lot more.
He always drop.
Gonna go somewhere where you don't want it to go.
Right.
That's Ice-T. That's Ice-T. Shout out to Ice-T, man. Shout out to Tutuola. But nah, for real though, I see it from both sides because I do understand. I've had people that do some shit, and you're like, damn, that's my mans, that's my people. But that don't mean they should be free,
right,
though.
Exactly. I was about to say, like, I thought that's where you were going.
No.
Okay.
No. We have to, if we're serious about cleaning up the community and our people and doing something for the culture, you have to keep it honest across the board. You can't say because this is my man's, he should be free. But if, somebody else do something, now it's like, oh, we got to do better. Well, you should have did better and told your cousin to stay the fuck home because he like to go shoot every weekend. Yeah, but you'll let him go freely out with the burner. Right. Then when somebody dies, it's like, oh my God, well, we got to change. So I only brought that up because I'm just like, at the end of the day, we got to do better with keeping people accountable. You got to keep people accountable for their actions because a lot of stuff go down and it's unsolved. And the streets know. And everybody know. But ain't nobody saying shit because of that code. The streets ain't going to never get better. It ain't going to never get any more safe. And that's any town, USA. I ain't talking about Columbus. Anywhere. If the people don't decide that enough is enough, then it's going to continue happening. So I don't want to see the Facebook post. I don't want to see the, let's sit down and have because y'all allowing this shit to happen.
And that's like even in general, like my relationships, like not even just relationship, like we had no relationship, my kids or girlfriend, whatever the case. I always would even tell my exes, like, look, I am a preventive person, and like my ex could be a recovery person. I don't want to recover from it. If I can see something,
if I can stop it,
I'm going to stop it before before I got to recover from something. I need to prevent it.
It's much better. That's what I'm saying. It's much better to be proactive than reactive.
Stop instead of waiting until something happened and then now you want to.
So I implore all of y'all to and like I said, we done seen a couple things happen over the last few weeks where I'm like, damn, this is a tragedy. But now I'm kind of confused. Like, are you liking the attention of the tragedy?
Right.
Are you kind of like, living in that idea of the attention from it?
Yeah.
It's
when something like that happen, like you first probably shouldn't even be on your phone.
No,
you just need to put your phone down. No, figure it out, cause like I even text you because I was about to get off a joke about my accident, even though I know I wasn't like, even at home in the moment, like I was just saying, like I was really like, it started hitting me and I was actually feeling privately what I probably should have felt in the beginning, but I hadn't gotten to that place. But even in those moments at the crib, I was like, what I was about to say, hey man, should I put this?
You did hit me. So.
Should I put this on there? I was like, yeah, never mind. And I told you, I was like, I wonder why people don't have this presence of mind to stop themselves from doing shit before they actually get on there and do it. Because if in tragedies or traumas or whatever the case, I get when people want to put something like vaguely or something, but you don't have to update every single thing or every time something happens. You don't have to do it.
It takes away from your ability to recover and to be able to heal yourself. If you're constantly putting that out there for somebody else to have a opinion on it or a comment on it or whatever, it's like you're not healing. You need to take some time and heal. And I don't think we do that. We just do a lot of extra shit. And that's speaking into the actual next thing, like COVID. Like COVID back. COVID is back. Or it never left. But the public perception was that it was gone. When all the mask mandates went away and the social distancing went away, everybody thought, we back out here. Then I seen them fucking videos and them pictures from Lollapalooza. Did y'all see that shit? Did y'all see them? Over the weekend, they said it was like 300,000 people that touched that festival.
Oh, this bitch all kinds of super spreaders.
It's nasty.
It was even one here in Columbus. They were asking somebody. Well, Brad hit me up like, I don't want to put I'm not going to put the actual
event, whatever
event
it was.
Out, yeah, but something happened this past weekend. Yeah, and I just seen pictures, and videos, and stuff of it. And I'm like, these motherfuckers is crazy.
Yeah,
like they really out here. Like
it's so.
And even if you got the vaccine,
right.
There is another strain of this that vaccine will not protect you from.
And let's be clear, and I want to put this out here, I do not want this to turn into a vax versus non-vax because I'm literally exhausted by that whole conversation. Too. But what I will say is that this Delta variant, right, when a virus mutates, it's because it has a host to mutate in. You can't switch and mutate without having a host body. So I've seen a lot of people who didn't get vaccinated like, look, I told y'all, even with the vaccine, you still getting it. It's like, well, yeah. And they said that when the vaccines came out, like, if this thing morphs into something else, nobody will be safe. Yeah. And that's what's happening. Not enough people got vaccinated off the rip. Now it then changed into something else. And science is fluid. Science is fluid. It constantly changes. These people don't have the end-all, be-all answer all in one rip. They have to continue to monitor what's going on. Mm-hmm. So I'm not telling you to get it, not get it. I don't give a fuck about that. But what you do have to understand that there is some science to this shit. And when people ignore that altogether and just be popping off, it's super annoying. Because now we might be in a position where I don't know if we're going to get... I don't think it'll be like a
shutdown,
lockdown, but it's going to be everywhere you go. It's recommended now. Mm-hmm. You need to have a mask. It's recommended. We're only letting vaccinated people into this space. Mm-hmm. Y'all better get used to that. Mm-hmm. That's what's getting ready to happen now because these people are not going to risk whatever business they got and whatever they got going on and just let anybody in. Mm-hmm. And so that's just where we are. Are y'all more cautious? Like, I know for me, I did get vaccinated. Mm-hmm. And I got vaccinated, I think, in my first shot in like April and my last one in May. And for a little while, I was just skipping around. Like I was in the streets, no mask. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just out here. And then about 2-3 weeks after that, I was like... So I'm back masked up again. Like
I never stopped masking.
And I'm glad. I'm glad. Like it shouldn't have been like that. But once you took the mandates away, right? And then stores is saying stuff like, if you're vaccinated, you don't need a mask. Mm-hmm. How the fuck y'all know who is who?
That's my point.
Like, how do you know who is who? So are y'all like Nancy? Are you taking any precautions? Is it something that you've been thinking about? Are you nervous about it?
Well, of course, I have to work in a mask. When I'm not around people, I'm not masked.
You medical profession, yes. Also, you ain't no games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ain't no games for you.
Yeah.
So, what do you tell other people? Like, do you give advice to other people? You just let people do what they do.
Because I don't have time to argue. I don't. I feel, first of all, like me, as y'all know, I'm a spiritual person. I ask the Lord to cover me, keep me, whatever, vaccinated or not vaccinated. But I don't have time to argue with people. Like, my own family, we've gone neck and neck. I don't have time. Like, you have to do what you have to do for you. For your job, your whatever you're doing.
Right.
But I'm not going to sit here and waste my breath and argue anyone down. I feel you are entitled to your opinion. It's your life, and live it. But
so are you saying
Jesus?
You saying Jesus be shielding you from COVID?
I'm saying Jesus covers me from everything, just from COVID.
I hear that.
Nah, I ain't trust
He's the head of my life. You don't have to trust him, but I do.
But do you know whose fault this? I don't even want to bring this nigga's name up.
Whose fault is it?
But this Trump.
Oh, this Trump fault.
This has become it's become so political to the point where we were niggas divided. Are arguing science.
Yeah.
So at this point, like that, like you just said, like I'm not about to sit here and argue with you because I already know where you coming from and where you got your information.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I saw people using Rocky to Ivan Drago. If he dies, he dies. Like I'm done arguing.
Ryan do that.
I'm done arguing.
Yeah,
if you die,
you
die. I can't tell you any more about that.
Yeah, I haven't changed anything. I still masked in places where I'm supposed to, everywhere, wherever I go, until I sit down, and then but as far as like any extra things,
My only concern was my son, because he's going back to school for the first, he spent the whole year out last year, so I was excited for him to get back in school and get back to normal, but now it seems like that's probably gonna be derailed a little bit. Like they haven't made any decisions about getting out of school.
They're going to
you're gonna go to school. They're not going. I don't think they're gonna go virtual or nothing like that. But he probably gonna have to wear a mask now all day.
So this is
not probably.
How old is he? He is in middle school.
He'll be going to 4th grade.
So he's not vaccinated.
Nope, can't get vaccinated.
So let's check this out. My youngest is 16.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I was told from the district she's in now, because she's no longer in your district. So from what they're saying at this point, and she's in high school, so she can have the option to be vaccinated or not. So if you're in high school, you can have the option. So she has to wear a mask if she rides transportation, the bus. She has to be masked up.
Gotcha.
But when she goes into the building and go to class, it's her
it's
option.
It's up to her.
Yes, in the district that we're at right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly
how she feel about it.
Well, I mean, she doesn't, and I understand by the bus you're supposed to be, you're more secluded, you're more close, and so on and so forth. But I'm like, but what difference does it make? You in this bus, then you're gonna go right into the school building, vaccinated or not. How close are you going to be on these desks and so on and so forth? If you mask. I would prefer her to stay masked. I would prefer her to be, but it's up to her. Right. I want her to be comfortable. I want her. I have to wear a mask all day at work. I know
you can't wait till you get all that.
And for lunch, for lunch break, just take that mask off.
Yep.
Try to, and I think it's important. I think I want all you to try to switch your mask frequently, at least every 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, you need to change your mask frequently.
Can y'all imagine? Because
I don't want to.
Look though, motherfuckers is nasty. You be seeing them in the mask. That mask probably.
You understand? I'm feeling in the medical. Some of these people and these patients come in, and one of the patients that don't have masks, we give masks.
Right.
But some of these people, I want to give a mask too, because sometimes it's so filthy and it's so dirty, and I'm just like, how are you still breathing?
You smell it. Can you imagine what that mask smells like?
Don't, because it's gonna make you throw up.
Get sick.
You know what that thing smells like?
It gotta be nasty. But yeah, I honestly have unplugged. I'm usually big into constantly MSNBC, CNN, news.
I can't
listen, for the last month or so,
you ain't been watching.
Unplugged. I can't do it. I can't do it because it's just way too much. And I, like you said, coming off of it happening during his administration, he politicized it so much that people can't even see.
Right.
1 plus 1 is 2.
The fact that it's an argument is crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to argue with people.
And I got homies. I got dudes that I'm cool with that are still arguing. I know niggas that caught it and are still arguing. Bro, you was down bad from it. And you still talking about, I don't know, this, that, and the third. It's real. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And if
people
you
have lost people because of this shit.
Yeah.
So I would never want to say, keep up this.
Right.
It's not even a real thing.
That sounds silly.
It's nuts. Well, if it comes back, I pray there's no lockdown. I pray, you know what I'm saying, because that was kind of how we talked about the mental health professional that, you know, we would be talking to. That was one of the things we wanted to talk about was like, how do you adjust? But we were talking about how do you adjust, like it's kind of like life after COVID. And now we right back in the thick of it. Like, so you can't even have that conversation because we don't know what's going to happen. But all I can say is be safe.
Yeah, stay masked up.
Be smart.
Yes.
Like, just be smart about it. Like, everything doesn't have to necessarily be this big conspiracy and this big... Like, just be safe. Be smart. There's a lot of people that I thought was smart. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. But when you say stuff like that, right? When I say this, then it's like, oh, Mark think he's smart. I'm not saying that I'm smarter than you. I'm just saying that I thought you would maybe use a little bit more critical thinking.
I mean, there are people that I'm smarter than.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether they know it or like it or not.
That's
some
true.
things just
That's
got to be
true.
said like, hey,
That's
man,
true.
you dumb.
I was trying
And there's some people that might be like, hey, fam, you dumb.
Yeah,
and I get it. I understand it. I understand your
I
point
was
of view.
trying to come through on the humble, but I'm glad you said that. A lot of y'all are dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm smarter than you. And that's okay. Because there's a lot of people, like you just said, that's smarter than me.
Yeah.
Like, there are people that...
There's some crown boxes I'm the brightest one in.
Listen, I
like to
What
be
kind of box?
Crayolas.
There you go.
I have friends where I'm like, man, I'm like, you so much smarter than me that I don't even want to really have this conversation because I can't keep up with what the fuck you talking about.
Or what you about
and I accept that. But then if I tell somebody else, like, hey, you're not allowed to talk to me.
No,
You're not allowed to talk to me.
For sure.
I'm not accepting this conversation. Then they'd be like, that's your opinion. No, nigga, you're dumb.
Yeah,
and you have to come to grips with the fact that you don't know what the
right.
fuck you talking about.
Nobody want to say they dumb, man. Everybody
No, you
gotta
right.
be smart. And then on social media, everybody got to have it together and be the smartest person in there with the thumbs.
It's okay to not
there's
be
some,
the
There's some people
smartest.
that I don't want to talk to because I know I'm way smarter than. And then there's some people that I know I'm not supposed to be talking to.
Right,
because
right,
I'm not gonna
right.
Get what
not even supposed to be in.
I'm not even supposed to be talking to you.
We're not even supposed to be in this conversation right now because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
But yeah, be smart. And if you dumb and you got kids, let somebody else teach your kids. Don't do everything yourself.
Nah, there's some
Don't do it. Look, have you ever talked to a parent? Have you ever talked to somebody with kids and you get done and you be like, man, is they about to go home and talk to their kids?
I'm so sorry.
They about to fuck their kids up.
No, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of them.
Oh my God.
There's a lot
man.
of that be like, hey man, it's not gonna end well for your child.
And don't get me wrong, there's certain things, like I used to, when my son was younger, I was like, I gotta be everything for him. I'm gonna be the encyclopedia. I'm gonna tell him. Then as he got older, he'd ask me something, I'd be like, bro, I don't know. Like, you need to ask an expert, or let's Google this shit
That's
together.
I don't got that.
Yeah, I don't have to.
But I respect that. Thank you.
You
for
gotta
being-
do that.
Thank you.
You gotta do that.
Thank you. Like,
Now, it's
I don't have
your
all
ego.
I don't
Yeah.
have all the answers. I don't.
I'll tell somebody quick, I ain't got the answer. I don't
There's
have
nothing
answers
wrong
for
with
shit.
it.
I got my experiences, and if they apply, I will bring them up.
But
outside
other than
of
that,
me, somebody
yeah.
coming to me and expecting something profound, you coming to the wrong person for profound.
Because people, I've been in conversations where back in the day, like if somebody would have been like, the one thing, you know what I'm talking about, what's the call? And I'd be like, damn, I can't even read. I know it.
That ain't never been me.
Nowadays, I'd be like, bro, I don't know.
How much
I have no
energy
idea.
did you waste doing it?
Exactly. You waste all of this energy. Like, nigga, Mark, the one thing, you be like, God damn, my nigga.
Yeah, that's too much
I
energy.
knew that. I remember it. It's close. Nah, I don't remember that shit,
Or
bro.
when they say
I don't
it,
know what you're
I'd be
talking
like,
about.
oh yeah. And then they be like, oh, what was it? I'm like, man, I don't even know what the fuck you talking about.
Hey,
Actually.
that reminds me of when somebody say something and I ain't hear it. And they be like, something, and I be like, shit crazy, right? And they be like, I know, because what happened? I be like, damn, what you say?
No, I do that all the time.
Hey, what you say, my nigga?
I do that all the
What you
time.
say? I swear to God.
I do it all the time.
I
Honestly,
swear to
fam,
God.
I didn't even hear what you just said.
I swear to God. They be like, hey, Mark, because the one, I be like, shit, who you telling? They be like, I know, because what happened? I be like, I didn't even hear what you said. I didn't even hear what you said.
That's my line. I didn't hear what you said. I wasn't even paying attention. Why you say? Because I actually don't want to talk about this.
It's easier for me to agree and not know what you was talking about. Because I was hoping you was going to move on.
Right.
I was hoping you was going to go to the next
fact that
thing.
we're still here. Now I gotta tell the truth and let you know, hey fam, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all are hilarious.
Nah, that's the truth though. It is okay to say that you don't know, guys.
Absolutely.
It's okay to say that you don't know.
Absolutely.
We had a couple other things, but I'm gonna skip them because I don't know why 42 Doug licked his son's neck.
Okay,
So we have to talk about that?
So this is the thing. I've gotten in conversations like this, I don't be wanting to. Okay, this is kind of. It's hard to talk about in this sense because. I'm almost positive. You don't know motherfuckers these days, but I'm almost positive he didn't do that with the intent of being a freak boy.
Right.
I don't think he was trying to do that to his son. Because I've had this conversation where I asked, cause my son is 2,
right,
and I take showers with. He's in the shower with me. There's some dudes that was in my comments. Not me. I never take a shower with my son. Or why you kissing your son on the mouth? Why you kissing?
That's crazy to me.
You'd be like, what's wrong with you?
Exactly. Where's your mind at?
Exactly.
This is exactly what I think the problem is.
But the way he did it was just so wow.
It was.
It looked wow. But. I'm almost positive. I'm 99% sure he didn't do that.
There was no.
He wasn't doing that like I'm about to lick my son's neck like a piece of thought.
Yes.
I'm not about to lick my son like he a thought. I'm sure he wasn't like, damn, boy, you looking good over there. Let me see what.
Let me get some of that neck. Like. Yeah, let me get a little.
He didn't do that. Like you could tell, like just the way he did it. It was just like. He was just out of. He just.
But that was the response from social media. It was like they was looking at this nigga like he was like, damn, let me get a little.
Yeah, he was.
Let me get a little some of that.
That's
it's like,
the thing, like fam, I don't like. Yeah. He wasn't trying.
Y'all have to let people when it comes to parenting. If people are doing what they supposed to do, doing it the right way. Mind your business. Like, y'all try to turn this. People was literally talking about calling child protective like services.
Now, if R. Kelly do that,
then you have a problem.
Then it's like, okay, you got a history of this shit, nigga.
Right.
Like, I don't know what the fuck a 42 Doug is, first of all.
I don't either. I don't know what to do.
I don't even know what it is.
Yo.
When I seen his face come on there, I don't know who this nigga is. But I can tell when he kissed his son, it wasn't like he was trying to get his son wet or some shit.
I agree with you 1,000%.
He wasn't trying to get it.
I agree with you that it was innocent. I agree with you 1,000%. But the way man's put that tongue out.
It looked crazy. It looked crazy, but I'm just saying
the way man, it looked like he was purposely looking for a hickey on his child, and it's like, fam, like why would you?
There was a lot
because you can kiss your child, but the tongue came out first. It was like a
It looked crazy.
It was like
it
this,
looked
like
crazy,
bro.
but
yeah, it wasn't no. I don't think there was any malice involved. So y'all gotta relax.
Yeah, niggas talking about CPS.
Yeah, they was gonna call the police on this nigga.
Man,
like, what are you talking about?
You ain't even kissed your son or
exactly. Where is your son?
Yeah, right.
Do you even know where your child is?
Go relax.
That's the crazy thing about social media. The people that be talking the most.
And they don't even do. They're not.
They
doing
be like,
right.
how could you treat your child like that, nigga? Where is your child? Where is that nigga? But nah, I that was 2 weeks ago, so we didn't record. So it ain't a big deal. I think they got off of it already. I didn't see nobody talking about it. Yeah, it was a couple days. But we appreciate y'all as usual rocking with us.
Would I ever do that to my son? I know somebody gonna ask. Would you do that to your son? Like, no. I probably wouldn't be that crazy.
But
I definitely kiss my son.
Yeah.
So
I just kissed my son today.
Right.
That's what you do. So
you're supposed to.
Yeah, that affection. You need to know your child. Your child needs to know that they're loved.
My son definitely walks up to me, puckers his lips up. So he
good.
My son good. I ain't trying to. Yeah. Like niggas think that the nigga was trying to arouse his son. Like,
it's so sick.
But that's just because niggas is bored.
Crazy.
Yeah,
niggas need something to talk about or argue about.
Niggas need something to do. But nah, we appreciate y'all again rocking with us. Like I said, we took a week off, but we explained why. And again, bro, I'm glad you good. Yes. I'm glad you walked away without a scratch. That's a blessing. The kids wasn't in the car, so I definitely was praying, for all of that. Nancy, are you in now? Are you good? Are you comfortable in the new place? Everything is gravy?
Yes, we good.
Everything is gravy. And for me, I just be out here. You know what I mean? I just do what I do. I go to work. I had shit going on at work, y'all. Like my 9 to 5 job. They was trying to get me out of here.
Oh, yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, shit got crazy. They tried to get me out of here. They really did. They sent my name to all of the news outlets and all type of wild shit.
I seen that.
Another story for another time.
At you and shit, too?
Yeah, they was at me and everything.
Yeah, man.
Marcus Gordon, I hope the police see this.
What?
Like, yeah, it's crazy. We'll talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about it on Gems. Maybe we'll talk about it next week. But they was just doing what they typically do. Just the most. Yeah. Pills gonna pill. Pills gonna pill. You know how that go. So, shout out, Grim, as usual. The most reliable brother behind the camera. Always make us look good. So
me and him were just talking about airing niggas out that we used to deal with. I still want to do it.
We ain't gonna
but
air
I turned over a new leaf in my life. I got some new focuses.
We ain't gonna air them out. Let them live.
I got some new focuses.
Let them live. Let them breathe. Yeah. We ain't gonna air nobody out, man. You know, we move on. We move forward.
It's about to be winter time. It's time to be in love. Oh, cuffing season episodes.
Oh, man.
We gotta get it serious.
You gonna get cuffed up this season?
Oh, she ain't
How you feeling about that?
Oh.
Nah, it's around that time. You got a couple months.
What makes you think?
Why do
I have to wait to a specific season?
Because it get cold.
That's when
it get cold out.
Why can't I be cuffed now?
Nah, it's too hot.
Streets is calling right now.
I'm not a hot girl.
Nah, Streets is calling.
Yeah.
Streets is calling.
No, I don't know.
Streets is calling.
Caliber women y'all be dealing with.
The Streets is calling until at least October, right?
Yeah.
So usually everybody's, in the streets.
What it gonna be?
Then one,
It ain't gotta be you in the streets. I'm just saying the man that is going to cuff you is too hot to be.
So you're not referring to me?
No,
okay,
not
good.
you. No.
October. About the second week of October, you're gonna start getting texts that say, "Man, I always wanted you."
Yeah, I send them now, don't I?
I've been looking at you. Then when they find out you got a crib with heat and stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Homosexuals.
Oh my god.
Homosexuals come to life.
God. I've been loving you. I've been loving you. Let me.
They don't want to be homeless.
Let's watch a movie. Next thing you know, they don't leave till March. Now you done had them from October to April when it get warm again. Yeah. So we might have to do a cuffing. We might have to do a cuffing series. Cause y'all and this is how y'all end up with kids with people that y'all don't want to be with.
No, that's a fact.
Cause y'all didn't cuff them. Yeah, it's cold.
You snowed in with somebody you ain't supposed to been over.
Y'all are hilarious.
Next thing you know,
you
left the condoms in the damn car, the glove department.
Yeah.
How you say that? Is it glove department?
Compartment.
I've been saying glove.
Glove department.
I've been saying glove department since I was 6. It's compartment,
nigga.
Compartmentalized. That's how it is. Oh,
it's a compartment.
Okay, I've been saying glove department.
Then you probably say curve instead of curb outside on the street. You probably say the curve.
I would say curveball.
Curb or
are you
curve?
V-E or...
No, I don't say curve.
V-E or B.
Yeah,
it's
a B.
Uncomfortable even saying
right.
curve.
A lot of niggas say curve.
No, hold on, curveball.
A lot of niggas say curve.
I just say curveball.
It's with a B.
It's the C-U-R. And then after that, you can put on there
whatever.
I just say curveball.
Well, and honestly...
So you C-U-R.
Yeah, it's curveball and then whatever you thought you heard.
And we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up now. But if you say things like curve instead of curve, you can't possibly think that we should argue about anything.
You say phone?
Yeah.
You say telephone or telephone?
Ooh, a cuffing season live show.
A cuffing season live? So, we'll talk about it because we need to figure that out. We need to figure that out.
A live show?
We need to figure that out. But see, I would want to get somebody together. I would want to play matchmaker on the low.
Let's do it.
And try to cuff them up.
Let's do speed dating. Speed dating live show.
Would you do speed dating? Have you done speed dating?
No, I've never done speed dating.
Would you do speed dating?
She gonna be off the market.
Oh, swag. All right, well, hey, yo, thank you for another episode of The Green Room. We gonna figure out this whole speed dating thing. Nancy, as well as LeRon, will be available. I just put them out there. So they will be available for dates. We'll get this...
She won't.
We'll get this figured out. But appreciate you rocking with us on Thursday. Green Gems, Instagram Live, mental health conversation.
8:30.
Let's do 8:30. Mental health conversation. As usual, follow us on all platforms. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. And again, we ain't do no questions this week, but hopefully we'll get some questions next week. If y'all want us to give y'all bad advice, we will do that. Send your questions in, and we will answer that.
Bad advice.
Man, your advice be crazy. crazy. But we appreciate y'all once again. It's the Green Room. Marc G, LeRon, Nancy NiChole. Out.